This is Sam, and he's got a huge problem. See, Sam's the boss of the biggest AI company in the jungle. Together, they've put out the software that's revolutionized everything from cheating on college essays to writing pointless pitch decks by consulting firms. And nowadays, AI is everywhere you go. Sam's seen the headlines, his face plastered across countless magazines. But behind that smile lies a deep unease. Sam's also seen the balance sheets, and they're painting a far less optimistic picture. Even his own company, the darling of Silicon Valley, is running at a massive loss. Multi-billion bananas burn just to keep the lights on every day. But Sam knows that he's got no choice. He has to double down. If the numbers already look so grim with widespread AI adoption and billions in investment worldwide, God only knows how bad things will be when the hype dies down. Because of the existential threat, Sam orders full steam ahead. He tells his team to innovate, to push out new features, new products, anything to keep the excitement going. A ChatGPT browser here, a tweaked chatbot there. Each launch is touted as the next revolution by influencers, news outlets, and even some jungle governments. But under the hood, it's all starting to look the same. ChatGPT 4 and 5, for example. Despite the marketing spin, they're performing the same function, except that one's just a little more depressed than the other. But with every new launch, the market's getting crowded and products are blurring together. And slowly, the monkeys are starting to notice. Sam knows the hype can't last forever. And when it fades, will AI have built anything real enough to justify the hundreds of billions invested? Or is this all just another bubble waiting to burst? This is the AI bubble explained. So, let's take a look at the state of the AI market. Hey, looking good, right? Actually, no, there's a lot of monkey business going on under the hood. And fortunately, these problems are starting to come to light. Copyright lawsuits, AI product failures, and mass AI layoffs are becoming more and more common, and the pressure is mounting on Sam. See, he knows he's going to have his work cut out for him, but Sam has a secret weapon. Mountains and mountains of data. Your data, our data. Data that countless monkeys like you and I have provided him with our questions, our requests, and the jungle's growing use of ChatGPT. Everything from asking it to plan out a holiday itinerary or accidentally leaking IT trade secrets. The truth is that Sam and OpenAI know a frightening amount of things that they likely shouldn't. And when they use these data points to generate responses, the question is, who owns it? But here's the thing. Nobody really knows. That's the literal billion-banana question that monkeys have been trying to figure out ever since Sam debuted ChatGPT to the jungle, and now things have reached a boiling point. If you've ever been on the hellhole that's LinkedIn, you know exactly what I mean. LinkedIn gurus copy-pasting each other's posts word for word, all using the same Studio Ghibli aesthetic. Even their comments sound like they're written by AI. But this is just a small ecosystem that perfectly represents the bigger problems with AI. Because if everything is AI-generated, isn't AI just being trained on its own output? And more importantly, who actually owns it? Is it the user? Sam? OpenAI? The AI itself? No one knows, but a lot of monkeys care, a lot, about their original works. Because recently, a wave of lawsuits has hit the AI industry over copyright infringement. The most high-profile is the New York Times versus OpenAI and Microsoft, where the Times alleges its articles were used without permission to train ChatGPT. And it's not just the news space. Authors are suing OpenAI and Meta for using their books as training data, and music publishers are suing Anthropic for scraping lyrics to train its Claude chatbot. And here's where things get even messier. Most monkeys have no idea how much of their own work is being swept up into these AI models. If you're a creator, a student, or a professional, it's worth actually reading the terms of service for these popular AI tools. Spoiler alert, a lot of them reserve the right to use your uploads and prompts to improve their models, which means your work could end up as someone else's training data without you ever knowing. So if you've ever uploaded a resume, a rough draft of an assignment, or a PowerPoint pitch deck for your boss, chances are that an AI is out there feasting on your work for their next update. And if monkeys care about protecting your intellectual property, and more importantly, your privacy, you need to be picky about which programs you use. The team has been using Proton Drive because it offers end-to-end encryption, meaning only you and monkeys that you deem trustworthy can access your files. And it's not just your file contents. Proton Drive also encrypts metadata like file names, folder names, previews, so your files are well and truly your own. All this protection also comes in an easy-to-use package, functioning exactly like our favorite productivity tools like Google Docs. And look, here's our team reviewing our next video right now, just without the risk of Google flagging it and reporting us to the feds. Plus, using Proton Drive means no data brokers, advertisers, or megacorp can use, sell, or train AI using your data. So whether you're a small business looking to protect their IP, or just a monkey looking to keep their personal files away from Sam and the next ChatGPT model, Proton Drive has your back. And hey, they're kind enough to sponsor this video, so you know for a fact they take privacy seriously. If you want cloud storage that actually gives a damn about your right to privacy, go check them out at proton.me/drive/monkey explains for a massive 60% discount on the house. Thank you, Proton, for sponsoring this video. But while these lawsuits are ongoing, Sam is desperately trying to convince everyone that AI can stand on its own, and that these are just the growing pains of a new and highly disruptive product. However, the reality on the ground is very, very different. Despite billions in investment from hedge funds, accelerator programs, and megacorps, many AI startups are struggling to become profitable. Worse, even the AI initiatives at the world's biggest companies are failing to generate a real return on investment. Sam knows this better than anyone. Even OpenAI, his own company, is operating at a massive loss. But he's got to double down. He's got no other choice. Because of this, Sam orders more launches, more updates, more models. No matter how trivial, no matter how pointless, no matter how similar the next release is to the last, just keep launching new models as fast as possible. Keep the hype flowing. Keep propagating the illusion that this is all built on something profitable long-term, despite what the numbers say. And so, every week, it's a new revolutionary feature. But here's the dirty secret. Most of these products flop. According to a recent MIT report, only 1 in 20 generative AI pilot projects at companies succeed. That's right, a 95% failure rate. Hell, growing up in an Asian household, even a 95% success rate wasn't enough for Monkey's parents. And you're telling me that 95% failure rate is what we're betting billions of bananas on? And we've seen it before too. Take Devin, for example, the AI software engineer that was supposed to automate coding and revolutionize the industry. The demos looked magical, but when real developers put it to the test, it couldn't deliver. The hype fizzled, and Devin quietly joined the growing graveyard of AI products that promised the world and delivered, well, not much. The worst part is that Sam's relentless push to hype up AI seems to have rubbed off on other founders as well, with some claiming that these failure signals are just business as usual. But the most egregious example of this is one of the CEOs of these AI startups likening the AI industry to riding a bike for the first time. Sorry, but Monkey never owned a billion-dollar bike that would collapse the economy if I fell off while practicing. Please excuse me. But if we're to believe these founders and CEOs, if AI truly is the next best thing since sliced bananas, why do so many companies keep firing AI workers? First it was Meta, then it was Amazon, followed by another, and it doesn't seem to end. Every couple of weeks, a new headline breaks that yet again, AI workers are being let go as if they have the plague. The numbers are horrifying. In 2025 alone, over 112,000 tech workers have lost their jobs across 218 companies, with at least 80,000 jobs directly impacted due to AI-led restructuring at giants like Amazon, Meta, Microsoft, and Google. It's happening everywhere. Intel, TCS, Salesforce. And if the big companies are feeling the pinch, Monkey can only imagine the layoffs that aren't high-profile enough to make it to the news cycle. Sam's getting paranoid. All of this signals that things are bad in the AI industry, and yet, investors seem to keep throwing bananas at anything that uses AI. Sam's faced with an impossible dilemma. Come out and call for the world to reel back the hype, potentially popping the bubble early, or keep the hype train chugging along till it hits a brick wall. It's a lose-lose situation. And yet, despite all the warning signs, mass layoffs, failed products, lawsuits piling up, there's still a chorus of voices insisting that the AI revolution is only just beginning. See those CEOs? Those founders we were talking about earlier? If you believe their LinkedIn posts, their press releases, or their keynotes at conferences, you'll hear the same message over and over again. They all word it slightly differently, but the message is clear. They believe AI is the real deal, and that all this haphazard investment is just par for the course. First, they'll tell you, every revolution looks like chaos at first. Remember the dot-com boom? The early days of the internet were a mess. But out of that chaos came Amazon, Google, and the entire digital economy as we know it today. Or they'll point to the sheer scale of investment. Look at the bananas pouring in, they say. Would all these VCs, wealth funds, and Fortune 500s really be this wrong? While conveniently forgetting the numerous financial disasters facilitated by these same megacorporations. Just because they're wealthy doesn't mean they're right. Don't get Monkey wrong here. I'm not saying we should stop developing AI altogether. No. Monkey just thinks the kitchen is getting a little too hot for its own good. So what's really going on? If you want to see just how shady things have gotten, look no further than the circular financing at the heart of the AI boom. The numbers are astronomical. Billions of bananas are being pumped between the same handful of companies, inflating each other's numbers and making the whole market look way more robust than it really is. Here's how it goes. NVIDIA invests billions of bananas into OpenAI. Sam then takes these bananas and buys NVIDIA's GPUs. And like a rotten onion, there's layers to this too. NVIDIA also owns part of CoreWeave, a cloud service provider that buys a lot of NVIDIA's GPUs. And can you guess who are CoreWeave's biggest customers? None other than Sam, OpenAI, and other AI startups. Oh, and don't forget that NVIDIA also buys cloud capacity from CoreWeave. See the pattern here? Monkey is tired of this bullshit, but it doesn't stop there. We're not even halfway through Dystopia Town yet. Oracle, AMD, and even xAI are all tangled up in similar deals, investing in each other, buying each other's chips, and propping up demand that looks a lot like the revenue round-tripping that fueled the 2008 financial crash and the dot-com bubble before it. The parallels are hard to ignore. Back in 2008, banks were trading the same toxic assets back and forth, inflating their books until the whole system collapsed. Now, it's AI companies and their suppliers, all betting on each other's success, with very little actual customer demand to back it up. So when Monkey hears about record-breaking investments and explosive growth in AI, Monkey can't help but wonder if this is just a trillion-banana Ponzi scheme just waiting to collapse. Thankfully, many jungle governments have begun to see through the industry's smoke and mirrors and are calling for increased regulations. Experts are calling for reduced investment and a slowdown in model development, warning that the AI arms race is moving faster than our ability to control it. From the EU Forest's sweeping AI Act to rumblings of federal regulation of AI in the US jungle, the message is clear. Maybe it's time to put the brakes on before the whole jungle goes up in flames. Even some of the loudest voices in tech are now urging caution, at least when the cameras are rolling. At the very least, it seems that the Kool-Aid is wearing off, but on the other side, big tech is feeling the pressure. Sam's feeling the heat more than ever. If only these damn reporters would stop asking questions about OpenAI's revenue numbers. But that's the thing about bubbles. The closer you get to the truth, the more uncomfortable it gets for the monkeys at the top. When the story was all about limitless growth, Sam was happy to talk. Now, with the spotlight on the actual numbers, the answers are getting shorter, the smiles more forced. And before we know it, Sam's off to the races once more to showboat for more hype for AI. The question is, how long more before the masquerade finally ends? And if consumer demand can't sustain AI at the peak of its hype, how can they hope to survive when the hype dies out? So the next time you see Sam, or any of these other CEOs and startups peddling AI as a product that can do no wrong, you know what's going on behind the scenes. If any monkeys are confused, just remember that this is a simple satirical explainer about the AI industry. Please do not sue Monkey, and many thanks to the Banana Republic for generously bankrolling and funding these videos. Have a good one, and we'll see you in the next one.